Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Corner Flag Talk podcast. It's your boy John, and as always, we're here to discuss the latest in football. Let me tell you all something, right? We are in the miracle working business because with our weekend where four teams drop points of the Big Sixes, we still managed to put together a podcast team where we had three men who see their sides win this weekend. And to do so, I have Virgil with me. Virgil was a good my guy.
Yeah, I did. We're just being consistent so men can come up with the different narratives.
Then I have Brandon with me. Brandon was good.
Hi everyone, I don't fall into the category John was just speaking about in case you didn't know.
And making his debut for the season, let me just get a small clap for Sean. Welcome, Sean.
I do fall into that category.
He does fall into that category. And so, guys, like we said, we get into the latest of football. We have a game for you all today as well. Plus, we also will have the Champions League look ahead for this week. And so, all that is going to be discussed today. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to start over the Arsenal versus Liverpool game. And Brandon, I'm going to trade to you first. What was your overview? What was your thoughts of the game?
The Arsenal Newcastle game?
What did I say? Arsenal Liverpool. Oh my god,
Yeah,
sorry.
confused me.
Arsenal Newcastle game. Well, Newcastle
Oh,
Arsenal to be more correct.
well, I mean, the best way I could describe this game is, it almost not didn't have everything, but it was a very action-packed game.
Yeah.
It is one of the games where, for the past few seasons, we've seen certain types of games. This was one of those games, but it just so happened that Arsenal finally beat the curse of getting a good result at St James's Park. John, I can
Yeah.
see John's facial expression right now, but that's just what it is, and it was a
No, it's
hard-fought
true.
victory in the end. Like it didn't make it look
Mhm.
pretty, it didn't make it look easy, but a great win in the context of the weekend.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, like from my point of view, it was beating the stigma of like, yeah, Arsenal started a game well, yeah, they played well, yeah, some things didn't go for them. How you could ride those punches, and obviously there's events in the game that we will have to talk about. But the end result is turning a 1-0 loss at halftime all the way around to come out with 3 points and they close the gap to the top to 2 points. So I think we should probably just get it out of the way then, right? I think everybody here saw what was the penalty incident in the first half, right? My opinion is, the Premier League constantly sets precedents, right? Last week we saw when Robert Sanchez got sent off, and we all agreed he should have gotten sent off, right? Is that he still get the ball in making contact with Mbeumo, but it was a reckless action. It was no intention of playing the ball. We saw something similar this week, and unfortunately they overturned it. Now the thing is that for me personally, if it was a case where in real time they didn't give it, and then afterwards they cite well that he get the ball, even though I would take it a bit hard for him to see that in the moment, if that's what they cite, that's then fine. The fact that they saw this most minute of touches as a reason to overturn the penalty, this clear and obvious shit for this to just go out the window, because that is not clear and obvious, especially something that you had to speed down a million times, right? And told you all this a whole bunch of times. I am very much against, or side excluded, these VAR reviews where they slow down the game, because the game is played at full speed. You are reviewing it at half speed is always going to make things look worse than it is. So the floor is open to you guys. What do you guys think about the non-penalty call in the first half between Pope and Victor Gyökeres? Virgil, why don't go first?
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying with how the slowing on the game, and obviously it's not really like a clear obvious error from the ref. But I feel like if that was to be called, I feel like that would be really hard on the keeper, because looking at a game where those small little moments could happen, and we know with Pope coming out and from the way how that game played, he came out with intention to get the ball. So even in the slightest of touches that was made, we saw that was Pope's intention. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like from that review and from them looking back on it, I honestly find they get correct, because say if a different way, we saw Pope dive, went with his hand, got the slightest touch of his finger, we would have been saying something different. We'd be saying, great goalkeeping. So the same, so obviously the way it looked in real time, it honestly looked very reckless. But remember, at the end of the day, it's a keeper. We expect these keepers to come out. You expected when a striker go up against a keeper, it's not to be something. So like a striker go up against a defender, it's a keeper could come out and stop the shot from any way possible. So it just looked reckless in real time, and obviously how fast paced the game went. But looking back on it, I feel like if that was to be given as a penalty, I feel like that would be like very hard on Newcastle.
Fair. Anybody else?
John, why does say something?
I saw it earlier today. I don't watch the game, but I agree with Virgil. Like in real time, you mentioned in real time and you mentioned VAR time slowing it down. In real time, it did look like a pen. But then when they showed the replay, he did get a touch on the ball. And you have to remember in those situations, Gyökeres going towards goal, but he saw the keeper coming out. So he's going to play for the pen because he cut outside, right? And Pope is only going for the ball. He has to try and stop the goal. Gyökeres clean through. So I agree with Virgil. I think it would be harsh if they gave it. But I could see why the ref gave it initially.
Fair. Brandon?
You know what I find curious about this whole thing is that, like, watching the game live when it happened, like, I don't know if anybody notices, but Saka went straight for the ball, almost as if he thought it wasn't a pen, because he actively ran towards the ball to keep the ball from going out. So, I mean, I don't know if other people saw it at the time, but I mean, I see the touch, but the problem is here that something that John said is that the Sanchez one, and I truly believe this, and this might sound conspiracy theory, but I feel like if they had kept the consistency, the whole game just is ruined, and they couldn't ruin the game of the weekend. Of the weekend, because and he did get a touch, and Sanchez also did get a touch, and me being a Chelsea fan, I'm sorry that Sanchez only got a 1-game ban, but that in this case, in this case, that changing the entire game. That'd be terrible.
No, I'm sorry. That just catch me real off.
Hey, when brother do these things, catch you off guard.
No, that's fair, right? And you're right though. I think it was because they so didn't want to ruin the game everybody have different.
I don't think it's a pen, by the way. I just don't think it's a pen, but
no, but for me,
to rule it as because the touch real clear, like the touch real clear as the. So,
but my thing is just like I don't think that level of scrutiny to see how they could rule out the goal is always apply every time that they review. Because you'll be surprised, that touch was so minute that only after they was reviewing for 2-3 minutes that they found it, right? That is so minute to that he did get a touch before they made contact. They don't actually perform that kind of scrutiny all the time now, and it just felt like if they was trying to find a reason to rule it out, but it did happen, and then after that, Newcastle went up the road and scored a little while later after a mistake from Mosquera and then a mistake from his centre partner, both allowing the goal to score. Right? Jinx is not real, but us as football fans is be superstitious about things. This week I was walking and I was thinking about Arsenal and stuff like that, and I was thinking, it's really been a good while since Gabriel made a mistake and I gave it. It's been a very long time since he made a mistake in a game. And the man feel a little blow on the back, they had fallen, right? It was really a bad action by him. And ironically, it was him that saved it in the end. But I do think all wrong, Wolfman had a good game. I think he's continued to really grow into his personality and his presence at Tyneside. Brandon, you could come in here, but I thought, yes, it was a well taken goal. And you could tell, it's completely chalk and cheese when he was on the field and when he was off the field.
Yeah, and I think that's what they lost the game. I think Powell made some horrible substitutions. I mean, you're taking off a man who already scored. He's clearly causing the defense some issues. I mean, you're trying to. I just think making those subs at 1-0 was real crazy, boy. The game wasn't safe at all. And to take off him and a couple other subs that he made was kind of confusing to me. But I mean, I really think. Because I agree with everything you said, he is really growing into his position, and he has to, right? Because he is the main man now. He is their record sign. He has to play every game. He is going to be the guy. So I was very impressed, and I told you before that I think he's looked very impressive. So I mean, if you had listened to my FPL advice a few weeks ago, you'd be eating good.
Yeah, I'll be doing good. But I think like you bring up a good point there too of how how did manage the game, right? And I think like just to swing it back to Arsenal for a bit, I think that does open up a conversation of like I think that Arsenal have rightly been criticized about how they have approached certain games, and not just the approach going into it, but also the approach and how the game transpired, right? Like it's one thing about our lineup. There's another thing on how the game actually played out, and there are games where teams, yes, did manage to either keep it at 0-0 or pull back a goal to get level, or are just leading and they have been comfortable. Arsenal over the last 12 months haven't done enough to trouble them. But I think that this was poor reading from Eddie Howe and the game was going because I obviously it's two set pieces that win it in the end. But like Arsenal were really good throughout the entirety of the game. Ironically, Pope mistake cost them in the end. But Pope was having a great game in goal. He was saving a whole bunch of as he came close multiple times. Saka had a shot saved. Gyökeres had a few saved as well. And so there was a game on hand. And so, like, Sean, I know you said you didn't get to watch the game, but I think that this was a poor management of how from the event that was going on today. I know we saw Pep do something similar last week, but I think last week there was more reason to do that between Arsenal and City because I don't think Arsenal were attacking with the same kind of impetus as it was this week. So do you also agree that was like bad management from Eddie Howe across the game?
Well, you're playing against someone who is contending for the title, someone who you would consider a favorite. So going for the draw in this situation might not be the most terrible result, for you, especially the way the game was going. I'm looking at the stats here. Arsenal look like they completely dominated the game. But in the end, I would say, ball don't lie,
It's true. Virgil, do you feel disappointed with how Eddie Howe managed the game?
Yeah, honestly, it felt from the start of the game, they made comments on how about the high presence in Newcastle. And we saw that how that might be going up against Arsenal defense. That will be a cause of concern. And it did work. It did work, for the set pieces and how the goals scored. But yeah, but from the minute Eddie Howe made change and took off their goal scorer, you really felt that you felt kind of disappointed because honestly, Newcastle, the way how they were playing before the changes made, Newcastle could have been at least 2 goals up. And it felt that they had that attack, they had that arrogance in the game. And after a while, it just seemed that they just really they kind of regressed and went back and decided to, okay, we just want to try and play it out, and hopefully, worst case, play for a draw. So I feel like that was kind of disappointing because the way how Newcastle did start and how the game was going and how well they were defending, the game was in their hands. They were home. The whole crowd was behind them, and I felt that right now Arsenal was the one track. Arsenal were constantly pushing, and we know as the game go on, and how frantic Arsenal we push it for the equalizer, it would create a lot of space in the back. When they brought Ilanga on, come around, I understand the Ilanga change because it would make sense, but all the other changes around that, it just felt too defensive for me, and I felt. I don't know. I feel like the way how Newcastle were from before, you felt that they would come into the season and they would want to basically get back up there, like try the best to push because they had a good chance to push themselves foot up the table and join that conversation. And I felt like it was a big chance, and obviously, the 3 points went down to trying to fight for at one point, and then at the end of the day, they could say whatever they want, blame the refs, blame any decision that happened during the game, but you have to see how the game. You have to see how the game.
Ironically, how it is that the corner was won for them to win the game was from Nick Pope trying to play the ball out quickly, and in doing so, he gave it away. Arsenal won a corner off it, right? And I just wanted to bring up some hypocrisy that I found from some pundits, which will be to no surprise to anybody. It's like, Arsenal obviously went on to win the game from here, and they were talking about, how bad on Newcastle that they didn't just settle for the draw. Why it is that you're trying to play out there so fast? Recognize your status. That is the kind of things I was seeing propagated, right? But when the shoe was on the foot, right, and it was Liverpool playing on Newcastle, mind you, even then they had 10 men. they were praising them for being brave, you know. But there are similarities in both games, where because both games they were not focused enough on the defensive side of games and lost both games late, you know, from trying to attack too much. So I asked them, you know, like what it is that teams that these pundits really want, right? You know, on one hand, they say that they want teams to be attacking, that they want teams to be, you know, intentional and going forward and try to create an entertaining thing because at the end of the sport is entertainment, right? But you can't criticize a team for trying to win it, but then also criticize them for not winning. You know, like is one of the other as far as I'm concerned. Only can tell me if all the things that are being, you know, wrong here, but like you can't on one hand criticize them for still trying to win it late after leading for most of the game, but then on the same breath criticize them for losing it. Because that's the risk you take in trying to win these games, you know. So all you can tell me all you think about that, Brandon.
I don't think well, first of all, I thought he was gonna bring up something that I said. I thought I was one of the pundits he was talking about, but it's not me. So thank God.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you, bro. Like there's a lot of what's it called? Moving at the goalpost really when it comes to
Yeah.
different teams. You know, and that's really what the thing is. Like I think like anybody who isn't praising Arsenal for this win, I think they're just crazy because this is probably one of the most impactful win of the season so far from any team.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this has blown everything out of the water. Like y'all are only what 2 points
Yeah.
behind Liverpool. There are other teams that are I think a point behind you, teams that we didn't expect that would be there, first of all. And then, you know, like we're looking at a team that we didn't at this time last season. I don't think anybody thought you would win this game. But there's a big shift in my opinion. Like this is this is where the no excuses comes in. Because I told you this already. Like there's no excuse. You can't blame the penalties, you can't blame the refs. You have
Yeah.
enough quality, go out and win the game, which is exactly what you did. You win and you win it with a header from Gabriel. That there's no better possible win that you could have had from this game, if you ask me.
Yeah, dog. My father told me I wake up the whole neighborhood when he score.
I
But
don't doubt that.
yeah.
I hear him. Funny man that score, I was like, yeah, first person. I was like, yeah.
But let me then actually praise something for also, right? So a few players I want to highlight. You can kind of pick out any of them, but I said Gabriel did make the mistake for the goal, but I thought after he recovered quite well. I thought Declan Rice and Eze were absolutely fantastic, bro. And you talk about I've always maintained that Rice does have the ability to like put on his cape, try to carry a team through games, right? But like Eze, you see that extra bit of quality, but and it's the simplest things, you know. It's not just the willingness to receive it in pockets, it's also the willingness to receive it with players trying to pressure, take the contact, ride the contact, pause, and play something on, you know, and keep the ball moving, keep creating things. He had the second most shots of this game after Gyökeres, who I did think had a good first half. Well, after that, it started weighing, you know.
Mm.
But you know, I think that there was a actual impetus on Arsenal here to go there to win, and I think that there has been a misconception. And he says like, you know, oh, Newcastle is this big bully side. You had to go metal for them. You had to go muscle for muscle with them. But like, I think you see that most teams that actually do beat them, like when Barca, ironically, and we have shown here. But like when Barca beat them a few weeks ago in the Champions League, right, is when you actually put more technical quality on them. And that you pass the ball around them that they can't keep up. And before you know it, you create something. And unfortunately, like today was a day where, yes, Pope did come up big, but there's a lot of moments from open play that Arsenal did create. And just that little bit of extra quality probably missing. Or again, Pope came up good, right? So Rice and Ezezi, two players that I also kind of had them going forward for what we had for Team of the Week. I really kind of wanted to put Rice. I would understand if y'all wanted Gabriel or something, but like I really wanted to put Rice forward. So, yeah, anybody from Arsenal y'all want to highlight? If not them, if anybody else, you know, the floor is open.
Nah, I definitely wanna highlight Timber. I felt like with Saka coming back, you know, the focus on the right was really to, you know, try to nullify Saka. But I feel like the way how Timber was playing, even cutting in to Timber was causing a lot of problems. So I feel like even to how you mentioned the whole Gabriel shout. I feel like even from that mistake too. I think they mentioned after that he was solid, and it felt like if the whole script of football is there, They felt that if it's one person, I would have right you wrong, would be Gabriel.
Sean?
No comment.
Wow.
I honestly think Gabriel, like I'd put him in solely because
He right is
yeah,
wrong.
no, that's exactly why. You took the words right out of my mouth. Like yeah,
Mhm.
in football, there are very few times in a season where you get a chance to right your wrongs. When you do it in one
Mm,
game, that by itself is
mm,
very impressive. So
mm.
I think that alone, I put him in.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. I like
And
that.
you know how I feel about Gabriella, John. So
Yeah. I mean, he's great, bro. And I mean, like, he like that is part of it, right? Is that like he made a mistake today, and like most people was like, wait, I really didn't expect that from him, and that's because of the standard that he has set, over the last few seasons, So yeah, I cool with that. Anything y'all want to mention? Come on to this. I think we could probably like just put a small pin in title talk until we finish talk about Liverpool, and then we could probably talk about both of those things together. And City, Virgil, we didn't forget it. But yeah, we could probably put a pin in that for now. So everybody cool with Gabriel? Anybody want to put somebody else for the team of the week? I also figured that we was
Words.
gonna put one player. Who?
No joking. I said words.
Oh, no, I mean, we got to talk about them just all right. And as Brandon said, now that Liverpool finally lost, we can have an honest conversation about Florian Wirtz, right? I also kind of assume that we all on the same page that the game of this week will be the Palace Liverpool game. So that will be the game we'll pull two players from. Like, everybody cool with that, right?
Yeah.
No, Brandon? You want to pull two players from this game? Because the
no,
thing is,
let's go. Let's continue.
all
I
right.
feel like there was a game. The other thing is that there's a game tomorrow as well. So that's
Oh,
another thing.
that's so true, That is unlucky,
Nah, it really is. But
Anyway, we
it's
can we
okay.
can go ahead up on Grealish.
Hey, bro. If somebody like Full Crooks for a hat trick tomorrow, you gonna feel sick though.
Oh, that'll be so sour. All right, cool. We just mentioned Liverpool, so we might as well get into the guys. Higher or lower? Which one y'all think is higher? Arsenal, big chances created for the season. Sorry, big chances conceded for the season, or Liverpool big chances conceded in the first half against Crystal Palace. Which one will I think higher?
I feel like the nature of this question makes it simple.
Yeah.
I still want to hear. Let's see it.
The chances in the first half.
The
Yeah.
chances in the first half, correct is right. With 5 big chances created in the first half, Crystal Palace took the lead in this game. Was then set back by the hand of God impression by Mohamed Salah on the way to Chiesa scoring. But Nketiah had the defense in trouble. Wait, I should have had the audio ready there. I really should have had the audio ready there. And they went on to win and they are now the only undefeated side in the Premier League this season. And a phenomenal performance from Palace. I mean, it was absolutely complete. Obviously, guys, we're gonna do the team of the week, right? But it's like you could have picked anybody. You generally could have picked anybody from that game. From the Crystal Palace side. Not our game, because we got so many Liverpool players as well. But I did watch that game. I had that on. I had the Chelsea game kind of on, and I had the Atletico Real Madrid game on. So, but my focus was really on this, and overall the performance by Palace was completely fantastic, right? We don't want to beat, we want to let dead dogs die, but dead dogs lay. That was he saying is. But like when it is that you watch this three at the back set up with the double pivot in midfield, and then you compare it to whatever it is that United is power there, bro. It's absolute chalk and cheese, and that comes from the manager, and what he does out there. And they will lose whoever he lost Olise last year. They say he lost as a bro, and constantly brings in players and really pushing them to take on to a whole new level. Apparently Sar falls into like this Trinity of boogeyman for Liverpool, and I was doing a little research today, and it really is bad. Like he has scored against them in his last 3 appearances versus them, and has 5 goals against them in 7 appearances. Like that's a bit much. That's a little bit much.
That's when he was on Watford, right?
Yeah.
So it's back to
Ever
it.
since
Exactly.
then,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
no.
man, that man haunted them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pushed and pushed. Mateta hit the post. Then Mateta missed one from right in front, Allison. Then the second half was a bit more even. Son made some changes, and it was a bit more back and forth. Liverpool eventually did get a goal, very controversial as well. But then finally on the other end, and Ketia off the bench. I know it's so funny, yeah, on the commentary I was listening to. It was real talk about how, well, Nketiah hasn't really, made a foothold into Crystal Palace yet. He really hasn't made his mark. He hasn't really done anything memorable for them yet. Blah, 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 blah. So sensible, And so the floor is again open to you guys. What do you all think about Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1?
Yeah, and Ketia finishing like a proper striker too,
Correct.
Because the composure. But yeah, I feel like crazy enough from what we did mention last week from last week recording, we did mention that how with Liverpool we feel that at some point, it would come and haunt them with all the mistakes that would be happening in these previous games.
Mm-hmm.
And from this game, I feel like 2-1 really is not reflecting because the amount of chances that Crystal Palace had and how so close they were to basically burying Liverpool that first half. But I feel like everything that we mentioned too about Liverpool from before has been there. This right now just giving the evidence to all the mistakes and everything that we've been seeing, the big concerns that we've been seeing that Liverpool have been struggling with in defense. But you have to say credit to Palace because we can't just say that we know it's not a fluke the way how Palace has been playing undefeated for the entire season, causing them a lot of problems back in the Community Shield. And crazy enough, I'm not too sure how big of an impact Maggie had in the chaos in the box for that winner.
It's so poetic, bro. It just makes
Yeah.
it all the more poetic, dog.
That was very true, sir. I feel like all credit to them, and I have to honestly give a lot of credit to Nketiah for stepping up because to have out everybody on the pitch anyway on all the firepower they had, and for it to come down to him, yeah. I know as the fans I love that one.
Yeah, he also wasn't the only former Arsenal striker to score this weekend. But we got those in other games. Salik, go. Sorry.
I was thinking. Sorry.
But yeah. Why you have anything to say about it before we probably get more micro?
Oh, before we get more micro, okay, never mind. Well, what I was gonna say is what I learned the most from this game was that Ekitike is super important, bro. Could you imagine if they had him to bring on in this game? He didn't get that stupid red card midweek, because he wanted to take off his shirt for whatever reason. Probably he was feeling cool or hot or something. I don't know. But that's what I really learned because if you really think about it, Liverpool's best players for this season are probably we want to say Van Dijk, Gravenberch, Ekitike. That's about it. Yeah, that's like the truth. And because I don't think anybody else has been spectacular this season. And
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, even
has been very unnecessary at times, but yeah.
Yeah, he looking like old Ramsdale. That's how he looking right now. That shot. You go back and watch the shots. People need to go back and watch the shots.
Yes.
But anyway, the thing is about and the funny thing, John. I told you from the start of the season, in the first part of the season, people not giving Palace credit. Remember, we played Palace on the first day of the season, right?
Yeah.
I said here that they did really well defensively. They are very good setup team. They're very structured. They're very good. They have good players too. The whole team is littered with players that I think could fit into most teams in the league. Most teams could look at that Palace side right now and say, you know what? I could probably take that guy, Anybody in the team, even the keeper. So, I mean, on one hand, Liverpool have not done themselves any favors. But on the flip side, Palace are doing really well. Remember, I told you at the start of the season that they look really good against us. It's been 5 games since then and they're still unbeaten.
Yeah.
That's quite remarkable. They are surprising everybody so far.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to again bring, and I know, at the end of the day, Liverpool is a big side in this whole equation, so we'll end up talking about them more, right? But they created 2.92 XG in this game, bro. Like that is ridiculous, dog. That is dog. Anyways, again, I said we'll go to Liverpool afterwards, right? When you watch the side that they put out there, Deitch Kamada and Adam Wharton is a double pivot, bro. And by the way, I don't know if Kamada is gonna make our team of the week, but I so want to put that man in there because he didn't get
Nah, he
no
was
goal,
real good,
no
bro.
assist, nothing, yeah? But he was absolutely superb, dog. He was absolutely fantastic, dog. The man who does only sign for clubs that has had Eagles on their badge, yeah? But he was absolutely fantastic, dog. And again, it even shines more light onto why United is garbage, dog. Because the whole excuse for United is, oh well, Bruno is not double pivot player, and Mainu is not defensive player, so the two of them can't play together. It just can't function, bro. Anybody who actually like watch Adam Water would tell her like, yeah, he defensively away. He's not a defensive player. He's not. And Deitch Kamada is an attacking midfielder that get converted to this pivot. That is what good coaching has resulted in these two functionally taking the game and overrunning a three-man midfield of the reigning champions. That is what they did. And they were just part of a whole setup that did so well. Like, ironically, Sarr probably wastes the most chances in the game, dog, because it had times that he run through and make the wrong decision. Mateta is... I don't think Sean was here for that one, but I did a preseason thing with like extreme takes, so, and I said that Mateta is in the top 15 strikers in the world, dog. And I do think that he is in that, And I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that he goals and he assists is whatever. Last year he had 25 goals and assists, by the way, right? I never had no Europe, right? It's all domestic, right? But like what he does to bring everybody else into play. And to carry the team forward, and even like the FA Cup final performance that he had as well, bro. Like he is so good, and they really trouble Liverpool, like through the whole game. And so I guess as we probably switch over to Liverpool now, is the same issues though, and it's the same issues we keep seeing coming up with Liverpool over and over, right? Is that the space down wide continues to constantly open up. Palace did well in doubling up in the wide areas to make sure that the two fullbacks who don't really care to defend get exposed out wide. And then now when it is that, you have Wirtz who kind of contribute to defensively, but not really. McAllister hasn't had the best start of the season. And so then you really look at that Gravin and Soboslai to make up all the work for all these fellas. They get overrun a lot. And I think that has been a theme for Liverpool throughout the season. Is that, Liverpool get heralded as a super excited team, and they obviously are, right? But I think no, Liverpool play for the neutrals at the end of the day. That's what they do. They provide entertaining games because at the end of the day, they probably have the best attacking group in the league, but they defensively are quite negligent. Their expected goals puts them at 14th in the league. You are title challengers, and you are they expected goals against and you are conceding that much chances throughout the season. I think only 2 games so far for this season, they've also won on XG. So they've also been conceding a lot more chances than what they have been creating. And so what ends up happening is that we have these cage games that everybody enjoys. But the thing is that if Liverpool constantly are putting themselves in a position where 3 goals need to be scored every single game for them to win it, I know we don't like to use the sustainable with Liverpool anymore. That's a bit taboo at this point. But like, is that really sustainable then? And again, floor is open. Sean, you can come in here. Like, you obviously seen, regardless of just this weekend, but like the defensive issues that Liverpool have been having, constantly throwing away leads and conceded 2 nearly every game. Like, is that a symptom of what should be a title? Well, obviously they are the title holders, but like a potential champion.
Well, I will say one thing. Going back to Palace. I would say the difference Sarr makes in this team is such a huge difference. I think it was last week he didn't play. I think he was injured or something.
Yeah, correct.
And, Kamada played wing, and they just looked so flat because they didn't have anybody to run in behind. And as soon as I think it was Devaney came in and went on the wing, Kamada went in midfield. As soon as that happened, Kamada sent Pino clean through and go for a chance. but he missed it. But I fully agree. I think Kamada in the midfield with Sa or somebody running in behind and having that run out all the time, especially with Mateta dropping deep to hold up the play to get the pass out the back, the long ball out the back. Sa makes such a huge difference to this team. And in terms of Liverpool, I mean, just to reiterate everything you're saying, like it was coming. Like it have no way to beat around the bush on this. It was coming because they have been getting away by the skin of their teeth. They have been getting their late winners here and there. Well, not here and there. Pretty much all the games so far this season that they played in the league, they had late winners.
Yeah.
So, if they keep this up and if they don't figure out their attack, if they don't figure out where they want to play with, if they don't figure out like what formation to play. And also to add, Salah is having stinker after stinker. Right?
Yes.
For a guy who
not to interrupt you, right? But because this first time having you on, right? This is something that I asked a while ago. Do you think that it has anything to do with this? Is the first time, like Salah and Coutinho only was at Liverpool together for like 6 months. So this is the first time in since his reigning superiority at Liverpool, he's had to play with the actual number 10. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
No, not really. If you could find a way to play with that number 10, you shouldn't have any issue. That number 10, in my opinion, should be able to feed you.
I know Trent, which I continue to say I think has been underspoken about.
You're allowed to say that, bro?
Well, they didn't create the idea, so I'm hoping that I could see it.
Well, that is also a very good point, and I didn't even think about that. Because Trent not even playing right now for Madrid.
No, because like at the end, right? Salah's whole factory setting this whole time was, well, no matter what, boy, the ball is going to reach on the right side because our creator, our deep dictator, our playmaker, our everything was at right back, and the ball was always going to funnel down that side. That's just not the case anymore. And so, like, he is not getting a million touches so that he could, and I mean this as respectfully as I can, because this applies to all the greats ever. Is that he don't get as much shot touches on the ball so that he can mess up 5 but get through with 2, so he getting less opportunities to do things, and so his actions becoming under more scrutiny, but yeah, go ahead, finish it.
No, it's just, and I was jokingly telling you this in the beginning of the season because we were doing our draft fantasy and so I picked Salah. And I was like, "You sure, boy? This man get paid, and he not gonna play good for the season
anymore." He brought up both Salah and Verta mentioned their Salah. So I think, like we've said this before. I was tempted to actually replay the whole TikTok that we made, right? But we did talk about how before, like, he was getting let by because they were winning, and the second that they didn't win, that he would have been brought up, right? But I think is deeper than that, in the sense that, like, this is the game that you're looking for him for now, because there was a big period of this game. Like, I know that Liverpool had a 2.14 XG, but genuinely, dog, when you're watching that game, most of that came after Woods gets off. Like, when he was on there was no big chances being created. There was no like decisive passes or ability to create, or no moments of magic from him. And these games where the other team is going to sit compact, is a back three, they wanted to sit in their block, that is where you want them to unlock the magic. And he was getting a pass until now, but now they needed him, and it wasn't there. Sorry, Brad.
Okay. The one thing that I want to ask everybody, because I think this is the problem that Woods has created, right? Mm-hmm. Who do you all think the system maximizes from everything you've seen so far this season?
Virgil. Sorry.
I know you're asking Virgil, so Virgil, you tell me what you think.
Yeah. So I'll go. I think I'll go Salah.
You think they're maximizing Salah? Okay, Sean, who do you think they're maximizing this season?
This season, I think they have tried to play formations to get Woods involved.
Right. John, what do you think?
Yeah, honestly, God, that was my answer too. Was to try and get a 10 and 9 to be functioning on that side. And
okay, because I think because that's what I think is going on, right? Like, I mean, if you look at the entire team, there are only what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, maybe half the teams probably changed. The problem is that
It's a lot of
nobody
change.
knows anymore. Nobody knows anymore who the team is built around. Like I remember last season, Daniel brought up something about how he thought last season Salah would have been less effective because he was playing too close to the touchline. That was not the case. Salah was more central. And then now this season, Salah is actually playing wider. So I think that in itself is a problem because one, Salah is not getting younger, right? So the closer to goal he is, the better he is going to be. And I mean, you have one of the best goal scorers the Premier League has ever seen, and they're keeping him further away from goal to accommodate this new guy coming in, and just because he's with 100, 100 and whatever million, like you're just
I know
throwing
what
up
I
the
say
entire
before
team
you.
now.
I know I say before you quote fiction, you probably should get verified by Liverpool fans that that's a fiction.
100 plus million, right? I'll just say 100 plus million, right? But and the other thing is that they've now messed up a title winning midfield, right? So even when somebody like Curtis Jones comes into the team, right, and he's going into the midfield, it's a totally different dynamic for them. And I also think that it's also funny that they now have a good striker. So like they now have to learn how to play with a good striker as opposed to somebody before who was, a maverick type player going 100% to everything. So I think there's a lot of change that happened unnecessarily in the team, if you ask me. I think that's on Slot. And that might be unpopular so far early into the season because they have 5 wins, 1 loss. But I don't think. And another thing too, and this is my last point before I move on.
No, keep going.
Something we said about Slot last season was that he gave up control in a lot of games because that was the way to go during the game. Like his game management was a lot better last season. I think now, like he is giving up that control way too easily and not at a point where they have the game under control. Like you can't if you don't have control of the game, losing control of the game is even worse. If you give control to the other team, that's just how it is, and they keep conceding all these goals. And but this is a case where the attack really didn't fire at all, and that to me is the real problem. Because if your attack isn't forcing the other team back, then they're naturally just gonna keep coming towards you. I don't think Isaac had a good game. I don't think Woods had a good game. I know Salah didn't have a good game. And it's just a lot going wrong at the same time, and they're not figuring it out in time. And they have a game coming up in midweek, and luckily for them, they have that game where they could probably try something to see if it will work, as opposed to other teams who don't have that luxury. You play 1 game a week. I wouldn't get into that, But yeah,
right.
dog. I just think it's a lot of things he's doing and tinkering with that made him successful last season that he's not doing this season. And that to me is crazy.
No, I think that is a result of when it is that all of a sudden it has a lot of pieces and you have to think then. I think that when it is a lot easier when it is like the status quo is what it is. I hope I'm saying this right. But like in terms of hierarchy in the squad, right, it's a lot easier to de facto to a lot of things. Like I'm just using this as an extreme example. But like, last year, Darwin kind of knew that at the end of the day, he wasn't performing. He needed to fight up to say he needs to start. He obviously would have liked to, and then at the end of the year, he walk off. No. You have a whole squad of a lot of players that think that they should be starting. And not just starting, but would also watch when other players are underperforming and say that is a spot that they should be having, right? And I'm saying that to say that it easily puts pressure on him to figure when is the right time to switch out apart. When is the right time to try something new? And the thing is that with the pressure of having to integrate 2 record-breaking signings into the team, plus the striker who actually started the season better than anybody else in the first month of the season, is a lot of hard decisions to make. And the result of that, as Brandon said, is that he took a title-winning formula last year, and it's going to sound ridiculous saying this because they only have 1 loss in the first 6. But he took a title-winning formula last year and changed the formula so much that, yes, they've managed to get results, but the formula isn't working game to game. And what Brandon said it was really good in it is that when it is that they have lost control, they don't regain it in games, Like they just can't. And from I think the only team so far they faced this season that has not had a period of dominance against them is Burnley. Every other team had some period where it is that they took it up. Even Everton at Anfield. Imagine telling that to Liverpool last year or year before that Everton is going to come to Anfield and have you paying back in your box like if you fight the relegation, bro. Like that says a lot. And again, all this sounds very extreme, right? But this is what they operate at. And just so we're gonna talk about title race and stuff, right? But Brandon, you said a few weeks ago, and I submitted because this is what they're going with, right? If you can score 3 goals a game, what doesn't matter? You can concede 2. Who cares? It's 3 goals a game, you gain your 3 points and you go up the road, right? But the formula that he had working for him to get those goals has now changed. Is that going to work long term? Because his 2 main rivals in Arsenal and City, they have their formulas worked out to different degrees. Arsenal know that they want to rely on defense, but we know Arsenal defense is sorted for the most part, right? Until Gabriel said he wanted to just fall along in the box. And then with City, their formula is to just keep feeding Haaland. And then he will get them when the goals to go over the line. And then they also just signed one of the best shot stoppers in the world, right? In goal to go on the other end, right? So they have their formulas worked out. But between the 3 of them, there's only so long you're going to get to try and reinvent this formula. And when it is that you broke records to sign multiple players and had a name, is a name boy over $500 million window, whatever it is, you don't get much grace for that conversation once them points start to drop. And that is the position that they are in right now. Virgil, I really want to say this whole thing. You want to say anything?
No, well, mainly just to really add on to what you and Brother did mention. Yeah, because we talk about all the signs that come in. Obviously, from the start of the season, while this whole Isaac saga was trying to come to a conclusion, you felt that it was very simple. It was very simple. The starting lineup was the front 3 was picked very easily with Gakpo, Ekitike, and Salah. But yeah, as I mentioned, now everybody will want to say, okay, no, we can't come now and say how the problem is spending, because obviously from being a champion, you just need to strengthen your team. But when you look further down the line, just imagine we have that lineup. We have Gakpo, Ekitike, we have Salah. There will be no time where you'll become confident of them keeping Isaac on the bench or trying something crazy to throw him in, or even trying to remove Salah, or even dropping Salah from the game. Because the way that how, as I said, Slot is trying his best to force these players, have these players there, and obviously, you're hoping with time that everybody could gel together and he could get that formula. We can looking back on the Everton game when he took the bold decision to drop Woods. So you're looking at it right now, and we're seeing all this question marks and confusion. They are basically trying to figure it out on the pitch. And we see as the season progresses and things become harder and other teams figure it out, and they play all the tougher teams, they can't figure that out on the field. They really can't, because we see in time in games too. We see in here in games too where they took off. I think when they brought on Gakpo, they had Subasly playing right back for a little portion of the game. So there's a lot of things here where you're hoping for a lot of players to kind of step up in these unnatural positions. You're kind of hoping everything to work, but you're also keeping the main man in Salah there and hoping that he kind of like shine or play through his bad form. So I feel like for a lot of people too, question marks are there if Salah really deserves to be a starter in the team right now.
I want to say something though, right? And I am not excusing Salah's bad form, because it does exist. But like, we now talk about that the formula get mashed up and he's getting older, right? Okay, mashup makes it sounds really extreme. But this is what I was asking about, like the whole 10 and thing, right? Because like, not to sound like over tactic or whatever, but like, this is the first time that he's playing with a 9 who wants to be a 9, an actual 9, not a false 9. A 9 who wants to be a 9 and a 10 who's actual 10. So there's not 3 midfielders who sit in deep. There's not a striker who's going to drop deep to occupy that space so that he can play like a false striker playing right side there, right? He's not being forced to stay wide or stay out there. This is not his game, dog. And I'm not excusing him, because that doesn't mean that you shouldn't execute basic actions. But the formula has been changed from what has made him one of the feared goal scorers of the last decade in this league. Because that was the formula that made him like that, and that has changed, Now, it could be that we could sit out here in 3 years, because at the end of this, I might leave next year or the year after that, because obviously he getting older, and we could be sitting down here, slot it real ready wheel again, we get a 4-4-2 kind of thing going, and Ekitike and Isak will out in the long run. But for now, it feels like a lot of square pegs and round holes, All right, guys.
I'm so glad we finally got to have this discussion. It's been on hold for like 5 weeks.
It was good though. I think this was good though, and like at no point I think any of this is toxic or whatever. Like I think this is just the honesty of what it is, right? And now, ironically enough, there's a Chelsea game coming up, and now the big decisions has come. It's easy to default things when it is that you're winning all the time. What is like? Does he drop Wirtz now for that game? And the thing is, when it is that you're winning, you could throw the line of, well, we just rested him or we just try something different or whatever. When you lose though and you drop a man, it's cause you drop him, and that's a whole other thing. We go with 2 guys from this game. So you know what? All I want to pull 2 guys from 2 games since we don't have the West Ham game. We don't have that game, right? We just won't have it. So we'll pull 2 guys from 2 different games, and that's how we get our 11. We okay with that?
All right.
Yeah.
Or you want to pull somebody from the Arsenal Newcastle game, or we'll pull 2 men from a game down the line?
I have a game down the line. I think we could have.
Would I okay with that?
Yeah.
So in this game, I really would like either one of Gehi or Sar and Kamada, but that is my proposition. Or you can tell me all you want.
I would like Gehi and Sa.
I agree.
You agree with that one? Okay.
Which you already decided.
Yeah, I would want to go with Kamada, honestly. I would want to go with Kamada.
Ooh.
I will let this. But before what the whole reason I wanted to bring out is cause, and I think we all did, is highlight how fantastic that he has been and how great he was yesterday.
Well,
So,
John, I have a proposition for you, my friend.
To take 3 from this game.
Why we just don't take 3?
All right, cool. We'll take 3 from this.
This is the result of the weekend, eh? Like this is the result of the weekend.
All right, cool. So right wing is Sar, and then we have Kamada in central midfield. Cool, nice. Let me just get this out of the way real fast. So Virgil only went 5-1. Hands up, anybody? Triple captain Haaland? Because I did.
I captain him though.
Hey, watch
I know you were worried. You were worried until the 90th.
The 90th minute when I was quaking, no Sean.
Dog, I was like, don't be weird. Some blasted wild card again, dog. I thought this happened again, dog. And you know what? When he scored the first one, I was like, it could be so hard for you to still get one more in like the last minute of the game.
Yeah.
What would you say? Anything you really want to say from a game, like? I thought Doku again
Insane, bro.
Yeah, no,
How old was the fullback? Okay, how old?
Yeah, boy. Trust me, dude. Hey, we talking age. That man should have a walker.
But yeah, I kind of assumed early how much I want to say from the game. But
But the only thing I want to highlight from the game is that there were talks of before the season that the main plan was to add more in the midfield to help Haaland contribute with goals. With all the injuries that we had, you felt like that plan kind of went out the window.
mm-hmm.
But the credit we have to give there to Pep, and well, obviously I'm not going to give it no big shine because let's be real, it's Burnley. Is that a lot of players now are trying their best to find Haaland.
Here that's right. Don't disrespect Burnley. They gave United their game of the season.
True.
Don't disrespect Burnley.
That's very true. But you see that a lot of these players are trying their best to find Haaland. Because trust me, the way that how Doku plays, there are a lot of little elements of the game that I don't like as yet, and I want to kind of like iron out and get better at. but we've seen how constant, we've seen how the consistency is there on all sides to feed the ball to Haaland. And yeah, we see at moments where Haaland do struggle, but the game is played in 90 minutes and give him a whole 90 minutes that he will
Or
he
90
will
plus
find in that.
4.
Yeah, he will find that, or even just simple reads of the game of how he scored the second one. So
I just want to bring up something real fast that apparently came out today. Rodri said on Friday that he's suffering with a lot of pain in his knee. And Pep Guardiola said that yesterday in training he wasn't able to play, that he can't play, he said he cannot play at all. And apparently he is now out for indefinite amount of time. And so that obviously is a concern. I didn't visually know who they're playing this weekend. I don't even know who they're playing.
Brentford.
Brentford, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, Bradford now beat United, so I probably shouldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
But obviously he's a key player. He's a very key player.
No,
I mean, I know
and
he
just
did
and,
a lot recently, but
and just to highlight first, you saw from even midweek, and from this game, we saw that how they knew that from some time before Pep spoke on it, and that is why you see Pep very animated with Nico Gonzalez, because he knows that how this the
he
moment
had
that
to use him.
we brought him in. He needs to use him. So, for even for the games where he played good, you see Pep is really animated with him now. So you see that
So
how.
no, go ahead.
Oh
No,
no!
finish your story.
I just want to say, yeah, you see that how that's basically the step that they going in right now.
So the thing is, right? We know more than likely. Well, not. I shouldn't say we know them more than likely. Igor Jesus going in this, right? We put in 2 strikers.
Oh yeah, for real.
We
Bro,
put
you
in 2
have to
strikers.
put Erlin, bro. Like
Right.
he's too good,
Cool.
bro.
I
Yeah.
am just
No,
making
wait, hold
sure.
on. I just like to say,
Do who?
dog, I had an honorable mention for this game, bro. Maxime Esteve, bro. That man was written all over this game, bro.
Yeah.
Dog. Hey, pick up Anthony from Burnley though. Like,
Nah, he have another season, yeah. Real good.
yeah.
But
You
Burnley
know,
aren't
and
bad, It's just that City are firing like real heavily
dog,
right now.
obviously in the grand scheme, unlucky is not really a thing, right? But I just wanna obviously we'll talk about Sunderland and Leeds later on because both got points results this weekend. Sunderland, amazing. But this season, Sunderland, you send this Brandon to the group. Sunderland, Leeds, and Burnley have
Mhm.
23 points. At this point last season, the 3 promoted teams had 8, and the 3 promoted teams before that had 6. Like, this is a stark improvement. I think Burnley just again, you're not supposed to say unlucky, right? Because too often they throw away games late. Not obviously this weekend, but like the United one, the Liverpool one. But they have been competitive. Cool, nice. Haaland. Lastly, is I just wanted to ask, like, we obviously have one more game before the international break, which probably is more up time to ask this, but I'm gonna ask it now anyway. Was based on the evidence we see and stuff we saw this weekend, how you all feeling about the title race then? Obviously we talk about the 3 teams that most people expecting in the title race. As the 3 teams that was the most common in the predictions. What all you think about the title race after what you all see?
Well, I mean, it is still early, Yeah, I feel like the title race is open. I feel like still with everything we
That
saw,
is the
it is
most
still.
political answer you could have possibly given,
Nah,
bro. Just
it
like
is still Liverpool. It's
you
still
might as well
Liverpool's
just come
title
out
to
and
lose.
say that you take Virgil and fall along the sour they got concede about 15 dog.
Nah, it is still Liverpool's title to lose, honestly, because the way I was going, a lot still to play, a lot still to figure out and everything too. So yeah, I feel like for me, I don't have much to speak about on the title race.
Sean, anything? You're on mute by the way.
I agree. I think it's too early to say. Wait, there's only 6 games. I think it will come down to the same 3 as how we had the last couple of years. I think Liverpool has to go through some growing pains, especially the players they bought. Like if they work that out, they will be right up there.
I didn't know you spent 150 million for men who need type of betting, yes? But good to know.
Yeah, I mean, that is a whole different story. Speaking from personal experience.
Sure.
When I say
Brandon,
bedding, I have one who we pay 150 for who is on hospital beds right through. win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, man.
Very
We had
true.
to talk about that
Very
too.
true.
Yeah.
Brandon, anything?
I would like to say, first of all, that I think it's going to be close up to a point, and then somebody's
Somebody
gonna pull
will
away. I don't know who it's gonna be.
I
I feel
agree.
like I feel like by New Year's we will know who's gonna win.
Yeah, I
But
think so.
I would like to say something. I think that the only thing that's going to keep City within the title race is that Doku and Haaland going to have a Son Kane type season, and that'll be the only thing that will keep them close to the title, if not better than that. Because the way the two of them looking right now, like, can you name me a better duo in the league right now than Doku or Haaland? Than Doku and Haaland?
Chelsea on red cards. Sorry, dog.
No, bro.
Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. No, I can't name you a better. I can't name you a better duo.
So yes, so yeah, so I think, but I think it'll be closer. I really think that as Sean said, they have growing pains if they could be afforded growing pains. But that it's too much quality across those three teams to for it to be like was one sided as last season. And as you can see throughout the whole season so far, there's a lot of quality across the league as well. So
100%.
any given day, something can happen for you unless you're on it.
Yeah, fully agree, bro. Yeah, I share all of the sentiments. I think on the preseason prediction pod, all the concerns that I've had over all three teams still exist.
Yeah.
We 6
Yep.
games in, but all
Yeah.
still exist. And I'm still waiting to see longer term how some of these teams solve those things. And it's such a cop-out answer, but I think it's whoever solves those things first and gets that actual run going, then we'll see. Because the thing is, people like obviously we now pull Liverpool through the grinder, but people kept saying that like Liverpool, oh well, this is what they do when they're playing body match, when they play good. Breads, I told Virgil this last week, right? I remember last season after Rodri went down, and this is just one example of like a bunch. But I remember when Rodri went down, right after that, they won like 4 games in a row, and people was like, all right, cool, maybe they'll survive without Rodri. You know what happened after that? They had like 1 win in 12. Some kind of stupidness like that in all competitions, but some stupidness like that. That
But they had the most points in the second half of the league though.
No. My point is that like playing bad doesn't just automatically mean that you would end up playing good and then start to go on. Rather than like there's evidence of that when it is that you're getting away in game, the likelihood is that you end up going through a period where you drop results while you still figure out what it is you're doing. That is where I'm trying to get at.
Bro, back-to-back wins in this league is very difficult,
Yeah, and some and how a specific team that has proved that
have
every
a specific team for sure.
In fact, since it was brought up, let me just get out of the way. Guys, ahead of the pod, we kind of agree. We just supposed to got away United because they did their most contractually obliged thing ever and just not win back-to-back games. Hands up, we all agree. Igor Jesus, yeah? Cool? Yeah. Sean, I'm giving you 30 seconds if you have anything you want to say about United. Because this is the first time you're on. If you want to say anything at all. If not, we'll keep it stepping.
I might have to do the same challenge that guy doing with growing out his hair.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
Hi, dog. I think he should just plait it, dog. Like Big Manny. He should just plait the hair, dog. Like, that's the only way it'll start to look acceptable, dog.
No. He could go and work as one of those royal guards or something like that.
Yeah. Bro, you know what he could do, dog? He could be like one of those flops for microphones. I think he'd be really good at that.
Oh my word. Oh gosh. Alright, cool. Nice. Keeping it stuffing now. I don't have much to say on this Spurs game other than it was like I had a day I hate watching. I got appetizer. I gave up being course. And then I got extra dessert when Wolves managed to pull out a draw against them. But it was an absolutely poor showing by Spurs, bro. Like, it was really, really bad. I mean, credit to Wolves. I mean, I have consistently said that they are one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in this league. But they managed to pull out the results against many teams that did start better than everybody else. I don't really have somebody to really put forward. So, unfortunately, brother, I'm going to default to you. Who you want to put forward
I
from
don't
this?
I don't even remember who scored for Wolves. I don't even remember.
I was gonna say Bueno, but I genuinely feel like that's wrong.
Oh, but Bueno was
Nah,
pretty good, you
nah,
know. Bueno
but
did score actually. Bueno
Bueno
was
scored.
pretty good.
Oh, yes.
I'll give it to Bueno. He was pretty good.
All right, cool. Well,
Bro, Xavi Simons looking rough, bro. I can't lie to you, bro. My goodness.
Which is a
Ooh.
surprise.
Samsung X7, bro. XS7, bro.
I mean, Brandon, did you have any concerns about Xavi Simons coming into this league by chance?
Bro, I literally had Nkunku for 2 seasons, bro. Of course I had concerns. Of course I had concerns. I still have concerns.
All right, guys. And lastly, we put it off long enough. Chelsea lost 3-1 at home. And I'm not gonna say anything else. Brandon, go ahead.
Well, I would like to put forward the man of the match for me, Rihanna. I mean, if you all don't know who Rihanna is, she's a very famous recording artist. She's originally from Barbados, and you know she really has put her marker down on this team. The team seems to love one of her big hits, "Man Down," and they've been doing that for the past 2 games. And because we just love the song so much that we want to play with 10 men. Big up Rihanna, bro. She's my put forward for this week. But on a serious note, what the hell are we doing, bro? Jesus Christ. Do you all know how it's so crazy that people are questioning Maresca's tactics when we have 10 men? Could you all believe that? Not even 11 men, 10 men. Like that's the state we in right now.
I genuinely find that is hilarious. Like no joke.
It is.
I think that is like I tell myself I'll work on this, but not sound disrespectful, eh? But like that's
what you're going to.
If somebody tell me that you just had to sit down there, I'll be like, you're right, boy. Because it just don't make sense engaging with somebody who studied like, yeah, well, you know what? He should coach whole week preparing for 10 men. That is what he should do, though. Why is he not doing that? Why is that not being practiced in training ground? Why is he not practicing being a man?
Bro, like, John, why is he making defensive subs when we are man down, bro? Why is he taking off attackers, bro? Why? We could win the game.
I mean, look,
Jesus Christ.
Not to overly rub salt in the wounds, but obviously we're leading in this game. Then a very, very lengthy VAR check happened for Chaloba before he got sent off. Then Welbeck came off the score. And this has now made it that there's 3 losses in a row to Brighton for Chelsea. And the only win since the international break has come away to Lincoln in the Carabao Cup. It has been a rough month. For context, João Pedro has had 1 shot in September across all competitions. 1 shot.
It's almost as if maybe he's not a striker. Maybe he's not a striker.
Maybe.
But anyway.
But look, it's.
But Cole has.
I mean, just prolonging my misery at this point, like.
I know, bro. I know, and I mean, there's people who are gonna listen to this and want to hear us actually discuss something out of this. But
do you want me to give 30 seconds?
Well, the only thing I want to say is I told you this long time that I have this theory of that Enzo and Cole just doesn't want to coexist with one another. And Enzo once again is scoring in games that Cole Palmer is not playing in. And to be fair, I was really intrigued to see this game and to see Enzo, Andrea, and Caicedo play together and see what I was going to bring forward. We get for a half. It was going swimmingly well for a half, and then Chaloba gets sent off. But this is key points. This is key points that they drop in. This is 1 draw, 2 losses in the league since the international break, bro. Yeah. 30 seconds, Brandon. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Too many individual errors, bro. When you and from players, you need to depend on, right? Like Sanchez, he's our best keeper at the club. Believe it or not, right? He is. No, I'm not even lying to you. He just is the best available keeper we have. The second thing is these fellas, they're just not serious right now because we don't have centre backs, and you as a centre back want to get sent off, and the rest and Santos put Chalobah in a situation where he could get sent off. And to be quite honest, he probably could have put Sanchez in a position where he could have get sent off as well if Chalobah didn't, decide to step in. So I mean,
Yeah.
we just have even the Bayern game, right? We didn't get a red card in the Bayern game, but it's individual errors, bro. And sometimes like everybody talking about Maresca and whatever, right? But when the players are self-destructing in front of your eyes, right? If you want to blame Maresca, then blame him for playing players who are self-destructive. Don't blame him for things that they're doing by themselves in the games. Like you can't legislate for a keeper getting sent off in the 4th minute, bro. Like your whole week of planning out in 4 minutes, and then a whole second half worth of time because Chalobah got sent off in the 53rd minute. A whole second half worth of time. It's very ridiculous. It's very ridiculous.
Are we in a position where we're going to end up playing 3 strikers?
Who's the striker for this? Welbeck? I was gonna say the Kuiper, I hope I pronounced that correctly.
I heard the Kuiper. Yeah, truly.
I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was really good.
Yeah. Sean, what was your thoughts on Chelsea coming into the season, and then compare that to what it is going on now?
Looking at how they won the Conference League last season, and then they went on to win the Club World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I have some thoughts about that, but I won't say it. But I thought, they will be coming in this season, maybe challenging for a title. Like, the same 3 from the last couple of years, Arsenal, City, Pool. My thought was actually Chelsea.
At least they didn't put Villa in 4th. Life could be worse.
But I actually kind of disappointed. But then kind of going back to a point somebody told me, I won't say their name. A lot of the signings they made have been kind of mid, and with all that money you're spending, with all that money you're spending, with all this, all these players you're bringing in, you can't bring in more quality in certain positions. Like I was talking to you, Brandon. All this money you're spending, and Robert Sanchez, your starting goalkeeper.
Yeah, bro.
Right? All this money you're spending, João Pedro is not a striker. So who is? I mean,
the answer, the quick answer to that would be the lap. So you see, in kind of the problem. He's in kind of the problem here, right? Like we've bought a good 11 on paper, and then when the 11 is not fully fit, you realize that the squad itself really lacks in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Like we're in a centre back crisis at the moment, right? And then we've lost our best player. Like he's not playing for a while. So like when you look at what's left in the team outside of the starting 11, it's kind of thing. My friend actually likened it to Arsenal 2 years ago. Like he said that we look exactly like Arsenal 2 years ago, and I know a few people who told me that actually since. So I mean, I'm not surprised that all this is happening. I just feel like some of the criticism that comes out of it, like it kind of misdirected. Like I feel people are just looking for something to talk about. Like they're not actually talking about what's actually going on.
Yeah, which is fair because again, like you all keep losing a man, and then I mean, you had to scrape through the game because you're missing a guy. So the past couple of results have been because you've been one man down, and it's very difficult to get results with 10 men.
Who is we putting for? What is the Kuiper? All right. So we got to speech through some games, guys, that we talk about La Liga, play the game, and then we're gonna just run through Champions League, right? So I was going to pencil in Xhaka, right? But I fought every instinct to just do that, and said, actually, maybe we should put in Royce in goal because I don't know where to find this one, but he is genuinely insane. Like he has probably been the keeper this season so far. Like he's been that good. He's been very, 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 very good. And this was genuinely this game is so funny, guys. Because again, I say we got to speed through this, but Sutherland hit Forrest. What Forrest was hitting man whole last season. Like smash, grab and defend, and just defend and defend and defend and defend. And Alderete is who scored the goal off our set piece. I was real close to being offside. And after just defend the game, bro. And funny enough, I know all they see the script already in Premier League football. I know all they see the script already in football. You see how what's his name? Nuno go on Wolves now. Watch how West Ham how West Ham got outperformed Forest though. Watch how they got outperformed Forest. At least in the league, because obviously Forest have Europa is Europa, yeah. But like, dog, I have not seen anything convincing from Forest on that end so far, and I am left with any reason to believe that it would be. But yeah, I did with Royce. If anybody anything else to say or want to give somebody else, feel free to say it now.
Do we have any other games?
We have two more, one of which I think is a given, which is Sean Longstaff. I think should be the one for the Leeds.
Oh, okay.
Can you get a goal and assist? So he's who I was going to play in midfield. And the last one was I was thinking about putting John McGinn for the 3-1 today. Between Arsenal and Fulham. Okay, he was good.
Actually, he played in midfield today for the first time for the season, and he actually looked good. Maybe you know he's a midfielder, he should probably play in midfield, not on the wing.
I was actually thinking maybe we should have put Buendia, because I believe he got goal and assist. You can't. Okay, we'll put McGinn then. That's no problem. No problem at all. Cool. All right. I feel like that's enough. So for the team of the week this week for game week 6 is Royce, then Bueno, De Kuiper, Gehi, and Gabriel is your back four. You know, two in midfielders, Kamada and Longstaff. While McGinn and Sarr make up the wings. And then Haaland and Igor Jesus is your two up top. And so with that, guys, we're going to go over to La Liga. And Sean, funny enough, life how funny we are, doing things, right? Friday, I messaged Sean, sent him a little TikTok, and I was like, bro, all you have to beat these men in Classico because I can't see who going to stop them. Well, hands up, dog. Hands up, dog. Because of
famous last week.
Let's see this, right? So dog, Julian Alvarez and Atletico. And you know this thing? Atletico has been trash this season, eh? Like largely they have been absolutely terrible start of the season. Only last week since they get back together. They was even terrible against Liverpool. And we now see how everybody's actually looking against Liverpool. They were terrible against Liverpool. Yes, you're right. They scored 2 rockets, right? They outplayed Real. They absolutely played all over them now. They targeted Huijsen. And I think somebody was making a point on something I was listening to, and they said, this was the first time Huijsen was actually tested this weekend. And when you think about Kirkes, like you talk about 2 defenders from Bournemouth who got asked to step up, and we've seen struggles from them, that it might be a big step up for them, And so Atletico took the lead in this game. Madrid hit out 1-2 real quickly between Mbappe and Goulet, who, as Brandon highlighted many times, they look like they have a really bought-in partnership going there between the two of them. But then after that, dog, it was literally all Atletico. And Griezmann actually ended his goal drought as well. And there were some really questionable decisions here from Xabi Alonso, like starting Jude Bellingham in your Madrid derby after playing a grand total of 20 minutes since July, which is truly something. And so the floor is open. Obviously, sure, this section is really more for you to enlighten us on what you think of like Real Madrid and Atletico, but like, what is all to think about what transpired this weekend?
I think Atletico, with this lineup they put out, definitely took advantage of that left side Madrid had, because Carreras and Huijsen got cooked.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, they got targeted, they got cooked, right? And I think with this lineup they put out, with Solot and Alvarez playing together, I think it worked really good. They had a good partnership, they had a good balance. And they were they go across and a lot. It's all out in the box. He basically gonna outbody almost everybody in the box there. I agree. Bellingham shouldn't have started. I think Franco has been playing really good.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say this, but I am a fan of him. I think he has.
Could you
He
pronounce
has
his last
been
name?
Mastantuono.
Better than me.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he has been an unspoken for them this season
Mm-hmm.
because he has gone under the radar. He has been playing very well. Him and
Yeah,
Goulet,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just to start Jude out of the blue, it's I don't know. I didn't agree with that decision.
Yeah. Brandon, you had anything you want to say about this game, bro? I mean, we already highlighted. I think it was a bad call there, and I mean, obviously, we talk about a little bit of this with Liverpool, and that there's a lot of big names and big players who think they should be in the 11. It does feel like he kind of rushed to try and force this one in. I mean, all this is amongst Mbappe is having a sensational season. Like, he has really started this season like a house on fire. But yeah, anything you want to say at all, Brand? Virgil, you obviously as well. But anything at all you want to add?
Virg, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like Madrid, how the season started. Honestly, you have to looking back on Xavi's first season with with Leverkusen when unbeaten. You understood why, because the way that how Xavi came and had this system for Madrid, you saw this Madrid team were winning games, not just scraping, but they were winning games convincingly, and they were looking so comfortable in doing any tactics. But I feel like everybody knew during the season the first test would be Atletico Madrid, because we know how Atletico Madrid, no matter how you could plan for them, they have a way of just disrupting things. And just the way how the game went, the biggest question mark too, as we mentioned too, would be Jude coming in. Footballers, a game of storyline, so it would be very very fitting for him to come back into the team, lead them. But there's a real world we talk about, not PR. So we understand that how everything doesn't really work out. But the way how the game went, you have to give credit to both teams, because the way that how Madrid came back into the game, you felt that at times it might have swing back into Madrid's favor, because the way how Xavi had them set up. But as you mentioned, that left side defense was being exploited, and I really feel like they didn't have anything ready to fix that. And yeah, you gotta give credit to Atletico Firepower, because they smell blood and they didn't give up. They were just trying their best to just trash it and just make this more than a convincing win. They were just trying to embarrass Madrid.
Yeah. Brandon, anything at all?
Yeah, bro, I was quite surprised. I really thought that this was gonna be not an easy win, but I thought it was gonna be a win for Real, because like if you look at both teams going into the game, like based on the season they've had so far, I really thought
Yeah.
it would have been a closer game. Like it kind of battered them. Like that was pretty
Yeah.
shocking. Like I saw this score and I was like, what? 5? That had to be wrong. I know, but again, this is carrying on from last season as well.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez is undoubtedly one of the best forwards in the world. Like he is. Like it was a shame that he got knocked out when he did. Because we probably would have seen more from him, because that's kind of like
Yeah.
the last we saw of him really for the season. And I'm so happy for him. Like I really think like he's gonna be very good for the rest of the season. But I mean, I agree with everything you said there, John. Like I don't know why you would bring back Bellingham into the team when the team has been doing so well. Like it's
Yeah.
more of it's more a question of like slowly integrate him into the team while you're winning. Don't try and make him the reason that you win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it felt real like, oh, he's Jude Bellingham, I have to play him. Rather
Yeah.
than,
Exactly.
we've been doing well with this team. Let's keep it out. But yeah.
And
But again, I mean the only other thing is Mbappe, bro. Holy crap. Like, is he ever gonna stop scoring?
yeah, dog. No, he's been tearing away, right? And I think, like, in comparison to the show and Boss, on the other hand, I think you all have. I know, obviously, you'll drop points. I think it was the second game of the season, right? But like, you'll have really rolled with the punches fairly well. Because I mean, like, there has been a lot of injuries. There has been players that have had to chop and change a lot. But I mean, Yamal has come down, Lewa has come down. New signing Joan Garcia even had to come out. You lost Inigo Martinez as well. But largely, the results have consistently stayed there. You know, and obviously the big result in where kind of Russia kind of announces out to Barca where he scored twice against Newcastle. But what has been your thought? I mean, obviously you all won this weekend against Real Sociedad with lower scoring. But what has been
They came
your
back to win the game.
feelings? Yeah. They
Today,
came back from
Yeah.
Vienna one today. Yeah. What has been your feelings on Barca? Like not just this weekend, but in general this season.
like you said, I mean, we had a lot of injuries. We still have a lot of injuries, but
Yeah,
I
but
think the key thing is coming down to the backups stepping up. You know, um, I keep saying it. I'll continue to say it. Ferran Torres, if he gets a good run in the team, he will be up there as one of the best strikers, one of the best forwards in the world. The football
I agree,
flows
Sean.
so easily. It flows so well when he's in the team. It's so fluid, and the difference he makes up top in certain games, because obviously he's not lower. He's not that big body presence up top. He's not that tall guy. But
yeah.
he plays so well. He's been gelling together with everybody so well. And he's in some pretty good form. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
um, also, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Kunde was injured for a little bit. Eric Garcia, though, this guy has stepped up to the plate and he has been fantastic.
Yeah. I heard some complaints today about Rashford performance, but how have you felt about Rashford so far?
I actually thought Russia was good today.
Okay, well
Um,
that's good. Yeah. Cause he
the
got
game,
us.
yeah, I mean the result of the game 2-1 that didn't I don't think that reflect of what the scoring should have been. I thought the scoring could
Mhm.
have been like 5-2,
Bro,
5-3.
I watched the second half. I see Lawa miss from any box and hit the bar
Yeah,
for no reason whatsoever.
yeah. So the scoring today could have easily been like 5-2, 5-3, you know.
Yeah.
Rashford had one or two shots saved. He had a couple of good chances.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if he put it a little bit more right or left, the keeper probably wouldn't have saved it. But Ramiro, for them, made some good saves. He stopped
Yeah.
at least 2 or 3 goals. And,
Um.
Yamal came back. And as
Mhm.
soon as he came on, the same minute he came on, he got the assist for the second goal.
I mean, with that, we could probably talk about this fast and then go on to the game that we have for today. If you all have anything you all want to say about the Ballon d'Or, I'm fairly
Can I
happy
ask
with.
Sean something before we move on to the Ballon d'Or?
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
as the Barca fan, like normally I have Patrick to ask this, but it's now you, so it's a different perspective, right? Sean, truly, right? I have watched not a lot of Barca games this season, right? But I have watched I think about maybe 3 or 4. Um, and one thing I noticed for the whole season, boy, and I want to get your take on it because I really think that Pedri Frankie double pivot is almost almost perfect, like how it is right now. Like there's so much that they both do in tandem with each other that just looks so effortless sometimes. Like it reminds
Yeah.
me a lot of PSG from last season. Now, taking into consideration that Barca's midfield last season was also very good, but I don't know why I feel this season, and I also think it's because there's no set third midfielder, but the two of them alone, boy, like what do you think about them this season? Because I just think like if you could keep them fit for the whole season, like you could do a lot of damage, like in Spain across Europe. Like, how you feeling about that so far?
I just want to say before he answered, dog, big up Hansi Flick for saving my boy Frankie, dog, because we was looking real bad for a little while there. You know
Bro,
things
he
bad
saved
when
Pedri
United
as
was
well.
out.
He saved
Dog,
Pedri as well, bro.
dog,
Like
I just
Pedri's
feel they
rep.
have been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, Pedri's rep went sky high after last season, dog, yeah. But yeah,
But
sure.
he's in the sense of him saving Pedri was more stopping him from getting injured so much. Pedri has
But
also always been quality, but
you don't think
he's
part of it
always
though.
been.
You don't think part of it is because he changed his role though? Like they stopped forcing him to be like the final third midfielder, and now he playing deeper.
Well, Pedri wasn't really always the final third midfielder. That was always De Jong. Under Xavi, De Jong used to make all those late runs into the box. De Jong
Mm-hmm.
was the box to box guy. But Pedri, because he used to get injured so much, he would come back, he would do great, and then he would get injured again. It became a repeating cycle. So he never really get to continue his form and show how good he actually is. And now that with Flick here, and he seems to have found the cause of why he gets injured so much, and he's resolved it. Pedri now is playing consistently, and he's not getting injured as much, and he's getting a chance to show all his quality. And even with Frankie deserves a lot of credit, almost the same amount as Pedri, because early last season when Frankie was injured, Casado played, and Casado was playing very well. And
Yeah, I
Frankie
remember
came
that.
back, and he didn't fit into the team because he wasn't playing good. So he deserves a lot of credit for stepping up his game and adapting to what the team needed. And now he's a cemented starter in that team. Him and Pedri, the first two names on that sheet is him and Pedri.
And you know the crazy thing, Sean? Like I remember maybe not last year, but last season and the season before, that there were a lot of talks of both of them leaving the club, you know. And for two of them to like look like one of the best midfields in the world right now, coming from that to this, like I think that it just blows my mind, bro. Because you're so good, you know. Like I feel people don't talk about how good Barca are, like really and truly.
What about
Like you're
Araujo?
really good.
Araujo too?
Oh, well, you know, I mean, you know, that's just that is collateral damage at this
You're
point, you know.
pushing too far. You're pushing too far.
I was trying to be nice, you know. I was trying to be nice.
No, I think
All right, guys.
Frankie deserves so much credit. He's come a long way. And I hope they keep
Dog, I think is like from a neutral point of view, bro, is I really do like seeing like players who have not, and we probably talk about this a little bit with Dembele, but like players who they have the potential from since they were teenagers to be the best players in the world in their roles or in their positions, I think. And like see them fulfilling that, even if it wasn't the path we saw them taking, is beautiful, love. And like we saw that with Dembele as he won this Ballon d'Or, right? I have no problem with him winning it. I thought that he was the one that I thought should have won it. I think my personal opinion is that I really think the Ballon d'Or not important anymore, but that's just me. However, I would have had Rafinha higher than when he was. I think that was a little low. I think that I thought Vitinha was probably a bit higher than I would have him too, but he did have a great season. I thought Nuno Mendes should have been top 5. I know that's a sentiment Brandon also shares as well. But I think the right winner did get it, at least on the men's side. The women's side, I think we could just avoid talking about that, you know, for the day.
I agree. Let's not be too diverse now.
Right. Cool. So
We're already talking about La Liga.
with that being said, guys, we even bothered to touch no other results. All you can go and watch the fact that Keane was the fastest player to 100 goals somewhere else, and Napoli actually lost to AC Milan this weekend. All them things happened.
Yeah, boy.
Go and find out that yourself, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna play now career
Quality
path.
from Modric.
Yeah, boy.
But Keane,
And
we get
Pulisic.
own virtual.
But
Keane, we
KDB
get
score.
own.
But
Who
KDB score.
cares? You lost, bro. You lost. All right, so we're gonna play career path now, guys. Right? There's only one sponsor on this thing these days. And so here's what we're gonna do, right? So this is how it's gonna work. I am obviously moderating this. You guys are playing. So I'm gonna tell you guys at home there is a theme behind all these players. If you know what it is at any point, comment down below. Tell us what you think it is. These guys are gonna try to guess these players by the career path. Each player is with 1 point. However, at any point with unlimited attempts that they can't guess what is the theme that connects all these players, they'll get a bonus 5 points towards their final total. And whoever gets the most at the end wins. Anybody has any questions?
Are we going in order or do we just answer randomly?
No, you just answer. You just answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So now the only thing I would say is that with the theme thing, be careful when you guess it, because next time you guess something and there's only part of the answer, and then our next man put it together when you guess. So and he answered the correct thing. So keep all that in mind, right? So with that being said, could I do this? Oh yes, I can. Great. So are you ready, right? There's I think it's 20 players in here. But yeah. 3. So this first player is here.
Dembele.
Well done. One for Brandon. I should say all players are active. All players are active, right?
Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
3. Right, so well done. Next one. Yeah.
All are active.
All are active, eh? So it should kind of go without saying that the last player is seeing, the last club is seeing is probably where they are.
Mhm.
Danburn?
Dan Burn. Well done, Brandon.
Oh, wow.
That's 2. Next one.
Oh, yeah.
Come, guys, guess.
Why is this? Why is this Newcastle sponsored?
I say Harvey. I guess Harvey Barnes. No.
Nah, no, that's not true.
He played for
No, it's
Leicester.
not him.
Yeah.
He did play for Leicester. wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sheffield to Newcastle. Copenhagen, man. That's Denmark.
Mhm.
It is Denmark.
Mhm.
Do I know any? I have no idea.
This
Emil Kraft.
not Emil Graf.
Shaw? No Shaw played Switzerland.
Mhm.
The thing is,
Lascelles.
I don't know. No, it's not Lascelles. I don't know if all you know the nation of this fella. Like, I think if all you follow the nation of him, excuse me, might have
I'm trying to
helped.
think about.
Yeah.
Osula.
It is Osula. Well done, Sean.
Wow,
Well
that's real good.
done.
That's real good. Wow.
Nice. Next one.
Oh, Marcus Llorente.
Oh, I was not gonna say that.
Remember, guys, you're trying to guess the theme through all these. What connects these guys?
Okay.
All active.
Ketia.
And Ketia, well done. 2 for sure.
It will be.
You want me? Well done.
Damn it! Damn it, Sean! I had to be tip of my tongue. Oh, Lord. Oh, Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo, correct. This is easy, eh?
Oh, Tielemans.
Well done.
Oh, damn it. Yes, he's right. He's right. He's right. He's right.
I forget about the one.
As of 2015, because this my career path was ridiculous.
Wood? Chris Wood?
It is Chris Wood.
Oh, no, he's right. He's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Well done.
Oh, my God. Oh, dear.
Solanke.
Oh, Solanke.
Well
Oh,
done,
no,
good
check it out. Oh, well done.
Ooh.
Amad Diallo.
It is Ahmad.
What the hell is this Newcastle team, bro?
Like not Guimaraes.
Oh, no, he's right. He's
Well
right.
done.
He's right.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
All right,
no.
I'm real fast. Anybody want to try and guess what the team is? Anybody else want?
Dog, if I run Newcastle players here, so I try to figure out what it is.
No? All right, cool. We move on.
Isaac.
It is Isak.
Oh, wait. Oh, who said it first?
Who? I thought I only hear Brandon. Somebody else say
that's
his
fine.
name.
Oh, yeah, Sean did say. But I don't know if he came in first.
I honestly couldn't tell, so both are getting point.
Ways. All right.
We could give him if you want.
Okay.
Oh, Ismail Assar.
Ismail Sarr. Well
What is
done.
that?
That was good.
Yeah, I completely forgot that too, bro.
Ooh, oh, where's this man name? I know it.
Oh, Mitoma?
Yeah.
It's Mitoma.
Bro, that Kawasaki, I can't lie to you. Oh, jeez.
You can't.
Jonathan David.
Well done, Virgil.
Oh, that's real good. That's real good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
I didn't even know he played for Juve.
Digne.
Incorrect.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Barca.
Oh yeah, for real, you're right.
Idris Gay.
It is Gay. Well done, Sean.
Yeah.
It just like he played for Aston Villa. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was really trying to remember that.
Newport County. Jeez.
Still-
Dog, that one Bath.
It's a Bath
City.
City. Yeah, bro. It must be a
Bath
clean
City,
city, bro.
Elliot Anderson.
James
Nah.
Tavernier.
Nah. Anderson not playing for Bournemouth, Sean.
What's the man?
Oh, it's Forrest.
Yeah.
Oh.
If all you know the theme, you like get off your back.
Semenyo.
It is the well done, Shawty. Well done.
I just guess.
I
it's
would have
not
never.
playing.
I did
Yeah,
not know
I was-
Semenyo
I-
played for Sunderland. I did not know.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't even know that. Oh, Marino.
Oh, Marino.
He,
Oh, I think Virgil got that. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, Virgil.
Nah, I think Virgil. I hear Virgil before me actually.
I hear Sean.
Oh, I don't know. Sean, did you say something? I really didn't hear. You.
I said Marino too, but I don't
Okay,
know.
wow. Okay. I really didn't hear.
That's a quick one.
And this is the last one. No, for what it's worth. Well, go ahead. If you can answer, go ahead.
They play for Fulham now.
The man have the polity, whatever your name is, it is when your name is the same thing going forward as it going back. He have his career going to come back.
Fulham boy. Tete?
Nah.
No, it's not Tete. That's
I can't even name you 11 men from Fulham.
sure.
This
That
man
Hoffenheim is what killing me, you know.
Sigurdsson?
was cut. Who's that?
Nah,
No,
definitely not.
Sigurdsson. I mean, what's the word name? No.
Say it, Virgil.
It's
Yes, it is.
Oh wow, it is Sessegnon. Wow, that's good. That's good. I completely forgot him for a second, you know. Wow.
All right, so
I
the
didn't know you
scores
went
is
Hoffenheim.
5 to Virgil and 8 between the two of them, right? Now, whoever can guess the theme would win.
Oh my god. Wow, this is close.
What do you all think all the teams, all these players have in common?
Could you flip back to the
Sure.
So you have your call Semenyo, Chris Wood, Jonathan David,
Matoma, Isaac,
Zach.
They are foreign
yeah, the
players.
first one was.
No. Why is the on that Sa one for? Is that something there we had to see?
You see, it have only Englishmen here, so I'm kind of confused.
No, it's not. It have like Marcus Llorente was in there. Jonathan David was in
No,
there.
I'm saying that it have men who only play in England, so it's not something England related.
They all play for rival clubs. No.
They all score against Liverpool.
They played for two clubs.
You're close. You're real close, Virgil. You're so close.
They've all scored a last minute winner.
Nah, it's not that.
No.
Virgil, you're missing like 2 words.
Okay. They all score last minute against Liverpool.
Nah. I feel it's a gay though. Like, can you come the closest?
No. Let me figure it out.
You can keep flipping. I feel like I don't. I
They
think I
are
don't
all
remember the rest of them.
undefeated against Liverpool.
Sorry?
They are all undefeated against Liverpool.
No. I feel because for the sake of time, I'll give Virgil it because he did come the closest. What did bind all of them together is that They've all scored against Liverpool in 2025. They've all scored against them this year.
Okay.
All these players have scored at one point or the other against Liverpool this year. Across one competition or the other. I was going to include the man who scored for Southampton, but truthfully, it was never ever again. That,
That was the crazy thing, dog. I don't even remember Enzo's goal against Liverpool.
He scored the true one.
Yeah, you're right.
But he just scored the true one. And I was going to put Palmer, but then Palmer would not just be City Chelsea. Right? That was going to be real boring. You know, so I just pulled random players throughout the year because just to highlight, you know, how porous the defense is.
Well done, Virg.
So, well done, Virgil. Well done,
I don't know
bro.
how he pulled that one out, you know.
Yeah, I will.
I didn't think about that youth man, you know. That youth man from who come from Copenhagen Academy. I didn't think about him first, but when he scored against Liverpool,
in the 3-2 loss.
okay.
Hey, camera, just hold on, yeah.
I kind of hit the table.
Nice.
Yeah. But no, yeah, he scored when it is Newcastle lost 3-2 to.
That was recently, right? Yeah, he did score recently.
Yeah, all these things, all of them was this year. All was this year.
Dog, and it's so wicked you put Isaac too, bro, because I was like, it can't be against Liverpool because it was Isaac.
So he scored against them in the final.
Yeah, he did.
He missed the league game, but he scored in the final. All right, guys, cool. So we're gonna just run through the Champions League and call that George for today. So I'm gonna call out the fixture and all I'm gonna tell me what all I think the result going to be. By the way, guys, if only we can fire this episode, well, you know, I clearly love us. But we have a predictor running for the Champions League dedicated just a quarter flag. So we put on the link before. I'll put it out again. You can join it, and it's just for fun. So first game, Atalanta hosted Club Bruges. To be fair,
well, wasn't Bruges the surprise of last week?
The Bruges was the surprise of last week. What it is that they won against Monaco. However, guys,
I am going to go. Who playing at home?
Atalanta.
I'm going 2-2.
2-2. I going for a draw as well, Virgil.
And I going for Bruges.
One
Nice.
for Bruges. Sean, who are you going for?
Bruges.
Cool, boy. I don't think we ever had where everybody went against the home team at that time like this. Watch out, Atalanta got a winner. All right, cool. Let's speak.
Yeah, normal thing.
Hosting Real Madrid. I think Real would bounce back. I know it's dog. They go far though. Kairat is like real far, but I think Real would bounce back and win. So yeah, Real win for me.
Real win.
Right, that's 2 Real wins, Virgil.
I can't say draw.
You could say draw.
Nah, Madrid win.
Madrid win. Sean.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2-1 or 3-1 Madrid.
Nice. Atletico hosted Frankfurt. Frankfurt, who have been great, like great this season. In the Atletico got a big win. I say draw.
Which is exactly why, and almost exactly why you can't say Atletico win, because in most Atletico fashion, they are going to draw this game.
Yeah,
I'm going for Atletico win. I think Alvarez in too much form.
2 draws. Sean, what are you going for?
I think Atletico win. Frankfurt weekend goals.
Nice. Bodo Glimt hosting Spurs. I going for Spurs. So weird, boy, but I'm gonna go for a Bodo Glimt win.
Well, this was the semi-final in the Europa.
Yeah,
League,
that's why I'm
right?
thinking it too. I think revenge, bro. Like, yeah.
Nah, I think Spurs will win, bro. I think Spurs.
One for Spurs, one for Bodo Glimt. Virgil.
Yeah, Spurs.
2 for Spurs. Sean.
Spurs.
3 for Spurs. Now they're gonna say has been a hater. Chelsea hosting Jose Mourinho's Benfica. I do think Chelsea win though.
Yeah, Chelsea
Probably
win.
not the right guys apply to that competition. So.
I think I draw.
11 for them and 10 for me. Respect, man. Respect. I going for a draw.
Me too.
This man is one fool. Virgil, what are you going for?
Nah, say that. Chelsea win.
Then we have Galatasaray hosting Liverpool. And
See what you want to see, bro?
Them lost 5 to Frankfurt. I can't say what I want to say. I'll say Liverpool win. They get punched against Frankfurt. They scored for this and then get punched. I got Liverpool win.
Nah, I can take it back. Liverpool win.
2 Liverpool wins. Sean, what are you going for?
I mean, realistically, I think Liverpool will win. But
yeah, well, what you seeing? What you feeling? Your
my heart.
What is your heart demanding you to say?
Galatasaray.
Gala win. That's what we talking about. This is what he does. Well done, Sean. What are you going for?
Search your feelings.
Yeah, I'm going for a draw. That's a atmosphere.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I was thinking too, you know, dog. Like, dog, them just get a little psycho in there, you know, dog. Okay. Inter hosted Prague. Inter win.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I'm going for a draw.
Going for a draw. Then I know we said we want to do this, but did they actually win this weekend? They did. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Marseille hosting Ajax. I'll
go for Marseille.
Yeah, Marseille.
3 Marseille, Sean.
Yeah, Marseille.
4 Marseille.
And then Pafos FC hosting Bayern Munich. I'll go for Bayern. Yeah, 2 Bayern. 3 Bayern.
I feel like we are
John White.
Arax way.
Man told me score, yeah?
Oh, really 4 Bayern. Karabakh hosting Copenhagen. I go in for Copenhagen.
I'm going for Karabakh.
Yeah, I'm going for Karabakh.
Me too.
Yeah, for Karabakh.
3 for Karabakh. Okay. My man.
Let's go.
Hey, Union St. Gillois host Newcastle.
I think Newcastle looked very good against us in that first game, in the first half. I think they would bounce back.
If he plays Voltamada, I'll go in.
That is the thing, bro. Like,
I'll go in Newcastle.
He should play.
Like that.
But
Yeah,
I feel
okay, cool.
I can draw.
Oh, and a draw. Nice.
Yeah.
Arsenal hosting Olympiacos. I would say Arsenal win.
Yeah.
Although Arsenal Olympiacos is actually
I was now going to say that a very heated fixture, bro.
For no damn reason, though. Like,
and you know, because Marino scored this week, he started midweekend.
Yeah,
so,
maybe.
I'll go for a draw, just to be.
Yeah, it's not home, yeah.
Yeah, it's not home, yeah.
I'll say Arsenal.
Virgil?
Yeah, Arsenal.
I'm gonna leave that game for last one. Leverkusen hosting PSV Eindhoven. Who is managing Leverkusen now? This is such bad questions to ask on the pod, but who is managing Leverkusen?
I think they have an interim.
It's still an interim, man. They didn't hire anybody. Okay. But I know that they won this weekend. But they've been winning off.
Is who the guy.
They've been winning off a Carvalho free kick something. Like,
yeah.
No, I think he is. That guy is the head coach, though. Hellman, he is the head coach. Like,
I go in for a draw. A draw between.
I go in for Leverkusen.
One for Leverkusen. Virgil?
Yeah, I go in for a draw.
An extra, Sean?
Draw.
An extra. Oh, 3 draws. Okay, Dortmund hosting Bilbao. Sean, any chance at all you know if Nico Williams fit?
No, I don't know.
Now with Dortmund, yeah, I think Dortmund will win.
Who did they play?
Dortmund.
Bilbao.
Oh, for real?
Now I think Dortmund win.
I go in Bilbao, bro.
I think draw.
Nice.
I think that's a Nico Williams supposed to. They say he should be fit for that game, but I'm not too sure if they might chance it.
Monaco hosting Man City. Yeah, City win. No.
Nah, I go in City.
That's an
Nice.
interesting one to me.
Bro, apparently, Pogba not going to play until December, they say. How much you
Yeah,
put
that's
for
what I
that?
saw.
That's completely cheesy paradigm. You know? I mean, not that Pogba is in some will-beaten level, but
No, but I thought he
that
was gonna start the season now, boy. Like I thought that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But
But apparently he just
yeah,
knocked it.
yeah. So City win. That is we're going for sure. And obviously, this club going City win, but
I think City will.
nice. Then Napoli hosting Sporting. I think Sporting is no Sporting is not who trades away. It was Benfica who trades away first. Like Sporting win their game, man, because Sporting had play Kairat. But I'll
Yeah.
still say Napoli will win.
Yeah, I go for Napoli as well.
Same.
Nice. And then
I go for Sporting on that one.
The man going with Conte's poor UCL record, right?
that is what it is. That I
I
know.
respect
So
it, I
you
respect
see,
it, I respect it.
KDB doesn't perform in Europe. That's what you're trying to see.
Okay, we gonna get arrested.
Oh, okay. All right. You don't think he gained off rest when they sub off against City? Then Villarreal hosted Juventus.
Villarreal.
I go with Villarreal.
Oh, I go in Juventus, bro.
Yeah. Nah, I go Juventus.
And then the very, very last fixture, the one everybody wants to see, is Barcelona hosting PSG.
You know,
Everybody
I've
else.
been honest with you, right? When I brought up this Barca midfield point, I completely forgot that they're playing each other midweek, you know.
Yeah, me too.
But wait, don't PSG have like a setter man out?
Yeah, both of us have like.
Oh yes, that's true.
Yeah, man,
You all must have as well, that's true.
because Rafinha is out, John Garcia is out, Balde is out.
So for Barca is Gavi for me. Ter Stegen. I didn't even know Ter Stegen was still employed, to be honest. Rafinha and Garcia. And for PSG, Fabian Ruiz is a doubt. João Neves is out. Cavara is a doubt. Vitinha is a doubt. Marquinhos is out. Dewey and Dembele is also out.
Yeah.
Hey, right time, right place.
I-
Barca will.
I think Barca
I think Barca will win, bro, honestly. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
end up with like a conversation after the game with like who is really the best midfield in the world.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Only
The
one
only
team
reason
have Marcus Rashford. That's all I have to say.
That's what I said.
All right, guys.
Rashford love a game against PSG, yeah, bro. He love
does
a game
love
against PSG.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we can knock it on the head there. Obviously, it's been a long pod. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Thank you guys for making the time. Sean, congrats on your debut for the season. And hopefully, we don't wait that long again, right? And catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy. Later.